Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, and in this video, I'm doing a 5-minute review of a book that I just finished reading. I checked out the library called Alfred Hitchcock, A Brief Life by Peter Ackroyd. Of course, obviously a biography on one of the greatest film directors in history, Alfred Hitchcock, very famous, well-known for his really not inventing, but really perfecting the thriller back in the day. I mean, he started back in the 30s with silent films, even, or 20s with silent films, and then really hit it big in the 40s when he came to America, because he came from England. He was doing movies actually even in Germany first, kind of where he learned his craft, watching other directors, and then finally getting the chance to direct himself. And then he came to England and started making movies, and it really wasn't until about 1940 or so he came to America under Selznick, one of the great producers over there. And then he really hit it off in the 40s with a lot of these thrillers that did very well for him. Even one of the first films that he did in America, Rebecca, won Best Picture, and even though he didn't get nominated for Best Director. Then he would do a slew of films like Suspicion, Spellbound, Dial M for Murder, that really solidified him as this great thriller director, which he didn't sing. I don't think he really sought out to be like the greatest thriller director, but once he started making them and they were making money and he kind of became his trademark, that's what he kind of went with these very good thrillers anyways. And then he really hit it good, I thought in the 50s, and into the 60s with, of course, North by Northwest, Vertigo, Rear Window, and then Psycho and the Birds, of course, really big in the 60s as well. Those are just some of the great films that he did. Anyways, but this is a short book. It's called A Brief Life. There's, as you see, it's only 260 pages. I mean, it's nice. It's a quick read, got kind of the basic idea of Hitchcock, and it kind of went into his major films that he made and talked about that. So that was very interesting. I mean, I know there's got to be like a pretty big book about him. I mean, this is one of the most famous directors of all time. I'm sure there's like a 500-page book somewhere out there. But for right now, I'm fine with just reading this 260-page book. In fact, I'm not like the biggest fan of Hitchcock, but I think he was brilliant at thrillers. I mean, brilliant how to make a really intense scene. He like really did that so well. Even back in, I guess, again, when I watch Psycho, I still get thrilled during those scenes. I mean, that's back in 1960, a long time ago. And you even see then, it's like, wow, this guy really knew how to have you on the edge of your seat, absolutely incredible. Himself, kind of a weird guy. I think if you think of anything about him, he is an odd guy. It seems like this kind of goes into that a little bit. And sometimes he was not the nicest guy on set, but sometimes he was also a very introverted guy. It seemed like he kept to himself. I mean, he had a wife and he had a child and everything, and it doesn't talk about that as much. It didn't go into his personal life that much in the book, but kind of went on to his career and his personal, or his, his professional life and all that. But I mean, it does go into how he did not treat the women stars very well. To me, it's like, as a human being, I think he's not a very good person, especially when you hear stories of like Tippi Hedren on The Birds, and they did another movie I didn't realize called Marnie with after that, and it sounded like he was just a weird guy, said a lot of inappropriate stuff that should probably get him canceled or Me Too'd nowadays. He seemed to have this weird obsession over her, and I think that kind of somewhat hurts his image and his legacy in some senses. But you can't deny, though, the guy really was a great director. Not the best people person necessarily, but yeah, he knew how to make a movie and how to shoot it, knew how to do right camera angles, lighting, all that. Definitely a big impact in the movie industry. But yeah, I would say it's worth a read. Like I said, I'd give it more like 3 out of 5 stars. Like, not one of the best biographies I've ever read. And he's not the most interesting subject matter, in my opinion, to read about. But still, if you're a big Hitchcock fan, it would be worth a read, I think. This book, Brief Life by Alfred Hitchcock.